one other thing I want you to do. Let me try it first and just see. Earlier when she was kind of fidgety, when you were messing with the saddle and stuff, this is a really handy deal. I like until they get about 30 rides on them, I don't even tie them up just so I can get this part really good. But so just start messing with it here and kind of let there. See her starting to move around. So if she decides to move, you don't have to make a big deal out of it, but you just let them work a little bit. Keep going. There you go. See, even though I'm having her do everything a little quicker, see, I'm still being kind of smooth with it. I'm not just nagging and begging and kind of just tiptoeing it, but I'm also not like, you get over there, you want to be assertive but smooth. See, you just let her work. Now here, we might can play with her hind end for a minute. See, I'll put my hand up by her eye here to keep that shoulder from getting in here on me. And keep the nose tipped, and that really helps the hind end move around. And just bring the front end through right here. We'll bring the hind end over here, and see, I can put my hand kind of high like this and kind of lift up just a little bit. That really helps the hind end. Right here, she's kind of confused. See, I just hang in there and wait. There, now we go back to it. Move the hind end. Okay, now I'm going to say, hey, I'll make you a deal. If you don't move around, I'll just stand there and play with your sides and your cinch and stuff, and I'll let you rest. But the second you think you might want to move a foot and start walking around, you can do that, but it's going to be a little bit difficult. So I'm making it her idea to want to stand still. See, we're just making standing still looking like a good thing. So we'll start playing with it here. Kind of rub right there, and you can, now I don't want to go 9-0 with this because, if she's still kind of sensitive, I don't want to make her walk off. I just want to, in a little bit, I'll start flapping the stirrup and doing more. Yeah, and this will help that a lot too, Okay. So see if you look, she's got two options here. She's got just kind of stand here and chill out and relax and just let me kind of play around here. Or she can move around as much as she wants, but it's going to be more than what she had in mind. Starting to look like work. There's a little bit. She kind of thinking about going right there a little bit, so you just kind of send it out. You notice she kind of slings her head a little bit and stuff, kind of like no, I don't want to. Usually, if you just kind of ignore that and maintain your leadership, don't let them lug on you and don't let them crowd you, things like that, it'll pretty much fix itself. She may not be used to having somebody be a little more assertive with her, so she's kind of like bowing up about it just a little bit. But as long as I stay smooth and just and stay fair with her, she'll kind of learn that she can live with this. Keep going, keep going. There you go. There. See, I quit her right there after I got heavier, but I quit her when she tried a little bit more. Now we go back to the good deal. Say, hey, how about you just stand right here? Well, see what's taking place here? Before long, she'll say, please, mess with my cinch, rub my belly, flap the stirrup. I love it when you do that. I'm kind of thinking, let that one slide. It's not, she might have just been getting a little more comfortable shifting her weight. See, you leave it loose, so you're doing absolutely nothing to hold them. That's counterproductive. If you try to bottle up that movement, it works like a boiler, just whoop, boom. Last thing you ever want to do is try to hold in any kind of excess energy or movement you're feeling in a horse. Better thing to do is just let it leak off of them, to where it's not even there, so there's nothing to try to bottle up and hold. So you never get the pressure cooker syndrome going. Notice now I'm being a little more brazen with how I'm doing this. See, you kind of start and then find the line. Yeah. Kind of rubber with this. Now you don't want to, you know, I've seen some guys, they'll go to smacking the snot out of their ribs with these fenders. Well, they should move if you do that, you know, if they're light to a leg. So, you know, you don't just, you know, start whacking them and popping them, but if you're just kind of moving it smooth but kind of firmly, there she moved a little bit. They should be able to just kind of stand there relaxed, you know. Get it over there. Get it going. There you go. See, she's kind of lugging on her hind end there, so I just kind of said, hey, get that hind end. There you go. Once that hind end stays away a little better, that'll help with what you were talking about with lunging. Get it over there. There you go. Play with that for a minute. So see, we can kind of play with two things at once here. Try to get the hind end a little bit lighter. There. Yeah, and it, you know, it like you saw a couple times where she really came through nice, so I never really got heavy. You know, it's just, you know, everybody thinks good horsing is always being like this, but that ruins one quicker than it makes them light. Good horsing is being able to go 2 ounces, 4 pounds, 15 pounds, right back to 2 ounces, and then do that, you know. And over time, you start to be able to stay lighter and lighter and lighter. But you also take into account what the horse understands and what his level is, because it doesn't matter how hard you pull on a colt on his first ride, he's not going to back up really fast. He'll probably rear up before then. But if you build over time, well then after 30 rides, you can take a pretty good hold and say, get back. And then when you felt those feet free up, then release him. And then over time you could. So, you know, it's that kind of stuff too.
Talk about the cinchy thing again one more time. 3, 2, 1. Okay, tell what you're doing.
So she said the horse is kind of cinchy, and we noticed when we were saddling it back there at the trailer, it would move around a lot and just be kind of not really settled. So what I started doing was just kind of messing with the cinch, letting her feel that, letting her feel this, rocking this, just kind of letting her feel this a little bit. And every time she kind of starts to walk off like that, just put her to work. So before long she'll really want to stand there and let me play with that cinch, because every time she goes to move around or get fidgety, it leads to a little more work than what she had in mind when she started to move around. So it's like, okay, if you really feel like you need to ride, or if you really feel like you need to move around, that's fine. You can do that whenever you want. But if you do, it's going to be, you know, you're going to have to work for it a little bit, you know. So you're just making the right thing easy and the wrong thing difficult. So now we can pet her here. We can go back to this deal. Let's see, before long, me standing here doing this is going to look like a sweet deal. You know, she's going to be like, hey, how about you just get by my belly and play with that cinch? I like it when you do that. And might just pull her back right there one time. She does it again, I'll send her out. Now see how she's kind of off me right here? I'm going to take the tail of my rope. Just give her a reason to keep her attention on me. You know, I just kind of let that thing kind of flicker on her hip right there. And see, she kind of said, hey, I think I'll walk off, so you just let them work. Notice when I pull her in, I step towards her to try to get her to start kind of reaching back. They're turning back through so she doesn't start crowding me when she goes to turn. There, all right. Mike could just send her back right there. just kind of waiting until she backs up a step. There. Now when I did it, it's when she kind of shot forward instead of backed up there. See right there? So I could play with that for a minute. Just see if I can get it to where she'll back up when I shake this lead a little bit. Hang in there till it backs there. Little closer, you know, little bit. See, every time it goes sideways, I'm just letting her run into pressure, and every time it goes back, I'm making it feel good. That was a change, you know. And that's just one of those little things that I just spotted that I thought, well, hey, we could play with that for a minute and help it, you know. So does that kind of help you guys with some stuff too? Just everything is interrelated, like part of how you see me kind of have to get firm with her when she kind of quits paying attention or crowds me or whatever. Well, that's the same thing. What's causing that in her is the same thing that would maybe one day cause her to kind of want to get a little barn sour or get a little buddy sour or toss her head a little bit when I tried to stop her. Everything's interconnected. You could take the most random thing. We could go work on getting her to walk up on top of those dirt piles, and then when we brought her in here, it would help her attention and everything. Everything's interconnected with them. That's what's so interesting. Get going. There you go.